What's up, YouTube? I'm Alan.
I'm Casey.
Thank you so much for watching Practical Survival. On today's episode, we are all about Ka-Bar, fighting utility knives.
Right there.
We've got the old style, we got the new style, and we'll talk about the differences. We've also got a short. We'll talk about all the differences coming up. Check this out. Some of the practical uses of a Ka-Bar knife.
Enjoy.
Choke back. Take another paper.
Okay, guys, so this is Ka-Bar knives, specifically the 1211 and 1212 series of the Ka-Bar fighting utility knife.
1211, 1212. The only difference that makes it a 1212 is the serrations on the blade here. Just to let you guys know.
Yep, and the 1211 is a smooth blade. So,
All around, great knives. You've seen some little tests we put them through out there. Those cutting of the paper and the book was straight out of the box edge. We didn't touch them up. We didn't do anything to the edges. We wanted to show you what you get as soon as you open that box. So you see that in those videos of what it was. You saw we did a tip test with the 1212 and the chopping test through. That was oak. So that wasn't. That was dried oak too. That wasn't easy to go through. So that really put the edge to test on that guy, and it did. Afterwards, it cut just fine.
yep. So, Ka-Bar, the original USMC, has been made the same way since 1942, with the leather stacked handle, 7-inch blade, fuller running down the blade here, handguard. You've got a powdered metal pommel with a rat tail tang that runs the full length, and is barely exposed down here at the bottom, and it's pinned in.
So if you guys are going to plan on bushcrafting and batoning with these knives, remember it is a rat's tail tang. It can definitely handle the batoning, but just put that in the back of your mind. You don't want that to go after and go all Hulk on it and see what happens. So just bear that in mind.
Right. It is a strong knife, but if you're going to chop or you're going to baton, light chopping, light batoning, you can deform or even break these rat tail tangs if you abuse this knife. So take care of it and it will last you a lifetime. Now the main difference between the original and the new style is this craton handle. And it comes in black and foliage green. This is a kind of a hard rubberized material. You've got the same grooves cut into the handle here for extra grip. And the handle itself is about a 1/4 inch shorter than the original leather stack handle. But you still have plenty of purchase on that knife with only missing a 1/4 inch. I mean, I've got extra large hands and it still fits my hand very well. Now, these new ones you can get in the black handle, you can get with a leather sheath, or you can get with this plastic sheath. These foliage green models only come with this plastic sheath. This is a GRN material.
That 1211 and 1212 on the sheaths, K-Bar does not write those on there. That was...
Yeah. We wrote that on there so that we could tell the two knives apart while they're in the sheaths. Mostly because I don't like serrations and Casey does. So we could tell the two knives apart and know which knife it is without drawing it from the sheath. The sheath has multiple attachment points for lashing to your gear. It has a retention system built into the top that actually fastens, and it is ambidextrous, so it is right hand or left hand compatible. But when you go to put the knife in, it stops right there. You got to give it a little pressure and it slips in. Now that knife is being retained by the sheath, by this back portion back here. It's got little locks that hold onto your hand guard. And to release it, you press back on the back portion of the sheath and the knife comes right out. We also have a strap at the top of the handle and a nice belt loop here that'll fit most belts, and a little plastic thing here that is for running on a drop rig. So if you want to run a drop leg on with this knife, you can do that. I have no intention of ever wearing this on a drop leg, so that little plastic piece for me is going to come off. It's just in the way.
Yep. And then check out K-Bar. They got many different models, many different sheaths, and just it's still the traditional workhorse of a knife. You pull it out of the sheath, and it's like, what do we need to do? Ready to work. Ready to work.
And the other version of this knife they make is the short. They do
Yes.
make a short version, and they make it in a traditional leather handle as well as the black craton. And they also make it in a plain edge and a serrated edge.
Yep. And big old USA stamped on that side of the blade. And where it's made is Olean, New York. I gotta look at it to pronounce it properly.
The short has a 5 1/4 inch blade with a 4 3/4 inch handle.
Yes, I believe so.
It's a shorter handle than what's on the full size.
It's about the same length. It's a little bit shorter than even what's on the Craton.
Yeah. It's a little bit shorter. Still an excellent knife, especially for everyday carry. If you guys are allowed to wear a fixed blade knife where you live, 5 1/4 inches meets most regulations because most states say that it can't be more than 5.5 inches, and this is 5.25 inches. Here in California, we don't have size restrictions as long as we open carry it. So if you live in California and you really want to carry a full size, you can do that as well,
Which is
with that 7-inch blade.
totally weird for California.
Yeah.
Absolutely bonkers. Yeah. Now I'm not getting into politics. I'm not. Oh.
But so you can wear the full size in California. In Texas, they have a 5.5-inch limit on the blade, so you can carry the short, but you can't carry this unless you're going hunting or camping or something like that. So all these knives have a black powder coat finish, and even after all the chopping and thumping that we did, you can see this knife is a little bit dirty, but it is none the worse for the wear, and that coating is still holding on pretty strong. It will wear with time, but that just kind of adds to the character of the
Absolutely.
knife.
Absolutely. I carried this one. I carried this one all weekend when we were camping this weekend, and I've used it all weekend. And I'm gonna have to do some minor touch-ups, but the edge, incredible. The
Yeah.
steel, incredible.
Now the steel is 1095 Crovan, so it's 1095 high carbon that is mixed with chromium and vanadium to help with the stain resistance and corrosion resistance, as well as edge retention. And the edge itself is a 20-degree edge on these knives, and it is a Bowie style clip point blade that lends itself very well to tip strength. You got a little bit of an unsharpened swedge on every one of these knives on the back side of the spine, and it's an excellent knife. It doesn't matter which one you go with. I personally am not a fan of the serrations. You see the serrations there? I'm not a big fan of them. That's my personal preference. However, these serrations come razor sharp and fully functional on these knives. So if you're a guy who likes serrations, that's the knife for you. Personally, I find it's a lot easier to maintain a full straight edge, and as long as you keep the knife sharp, it'll cut anything you want to cut. So for me, there's no real need for serrations, but serrations definitely have their place for cutting. I mean, they'll go right through rope. Seat belt, they'll cut seat belt rather easily. So,
Yep.
I mean,
On serrations, you're always looking, because after a while on the knife edge, you wanted to try to find almost a new edge angle to get something cut, you feel. And with a serration edge, no matter what, you're always going to find an edge like that, I feel.
so
Especially when cutting rope or something like that. It's a little bit of a saw action at the same time.
now all these knives are made in the USA and only in New York. The plastic sheaths are made in Taiwan. If you get one with the leather sheath is made in Mexico. But the leather sheath is a high quality sheath. It's going to last you a good long time.
This one is stamped K-Bar USA. The leather sheath that came with this big guy right here, we don't have the sheath out at the moment, but it was stamped USMC on the sheath, just like this blade was.
Yeah. So these are incredible knives. Now they're listed on K-Bar's website, the full size, for $102.
Which is not bad.
It's really not bad.
Not bad at all. That is well into the market of any fixed blade.
The
Working fixed blade.
The leather handle short is listed for $102. The Kraton handle short, which is a black, is listed for $80. Now you can go to cheaper places to find these knives. You can go to Amazon and buy K-Bar knives for anywheres on the long versions, anywheres from $60 to $75. On the shorts, anywhere from $40 to $60. So it's all depends on what you're looking for, and there's other knife shops as well that sell these a little bit cheaper depending on where you go. And K-Bar says that on their website. They say they charge full MSRP on these knives, because they don't want to compete with their sellers, the people who sell these knives. They don't want to compete with them, so they charge full MSRP. But you can go to other knife stores or Amazon or anything like that and find these much cheaper.
Yep.
Still get a full lifetime warranty.
Yep.
As long as you do not abuse this knife. Watched a YouTube video of a guy taking this knife and using a sledgehammer to hammer through some aluminum pipe. But why would you do that? That is pure abuse, and it will not be covered under warranty. If you're going to baton this knife, use an appropriate size stick and light batoning. This is not a heavy duty batoning woods knife. It is a utility knife. It will do most tasks well. It will not do any one particular task excellent.
Well, ever since World War II, it's done its job for the
It
military.
has. It has done its job
And
very
it's
well.
probably done that job very well.
Yes, and I had one when I was in the military, and many service members still carry this knife today. It is a very iconic, historical American knife, and it still serves a function even today in the military, in the woods, as an everyday carry knife. I mean, even if you just want to chop vegetables with it, you can do that with these knives. So
I did this weekend. I was cutting up onions, basically meal prepping all weekend. with it.
sausage and all
Yeah,
kinds
meal
of stuff.
prepping,
yeah.
everything with it. It did
So-
just what I wanted it to do, no problems.
Yep.
It was great, and it's classy looking, especially with the leather sheath. Put that there, snaps over. You know, it's not. When people see K-Bar USA, it just seems classy. It seems like it's the workhorse, like I said before, the workhorse of the knives. I feel
Yeah.
it's great.
So that is going to be it for us, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Check out kbar.com, kbarknives.com, and they've got tons and tons of knives. They got the Becker series, they got the X series, the Dozier folding series, and several other knives and utility tools on there. They even have breaching tools. They have tools specific for law enforcement, tools specific for military. They have hunting knives. You name it, they've got it. So go check out kbar.com.
Real quick, you had an idea with these grooves in here. Explain your idea.
Yeah, well,
This is just a little life tip, maybe.
a little pro tip. This handle is pretty rounded. And it doesn't matter if it's the leather stacked or if it's the Kraton. It's pretty rounded. So when you're doing a lot of heavy use and a lot of movement with these knives, they can and sometimes will roll in your hand a little bit. So one fix for that is to go to the hardware store in the plumbing section and number 15 O-rings. And those number 15 O-rings fit right into these grooves, and there's 5 grooves on the knife, and it doesn't matter if it's the leather or the Kraton again, but you stick them into those grooves place. They fit perfect. Those O-rings fit perfectly into those grooves, and that really locks the knife into your hand, and it's not going to move around on you. It's that much extra grip. It doesn't matter if your hands are wet, bloody, sweaty, dirty. You're going to have an excellent grip with those number 15 O-rings. So that's a little pro tip for
There
you.
you go. Well, thank you guys for checking us out. And if you have any hints or any discussions you want to talk to us about, shoot us a comment, and we'll just take it with stride. And every day is a learning. Every filming is a learning. And I mean, we enjoy what we're doing, and just
Yeah, and share this video with
yeah,
your
absolutely
friends.
share it.
And one thing that is really cool that K-Bar also does, they have $25 military appreciation gift cards that you can buy to give to a military person. Please support our military, and if you know somebody that's a service member, get them one of those cards and let them go on and choose a knife that will serve them well in their duties.
Absolutely.
So that's it, man. I mean, I'm Alan,
I'm Casey.
and thank you for watching Practical Survival. Take care, guys.
See you.